these are, I'm going to leave these messages on my site. They're for my great grandchildren and my grandchildren to learn from, because they're lessons I learned. And I got these messages from my father. My father sat me down when I got my driver's license, and he said, "You're going to be out there in the world, and you're going to be stopped by police officers, and they are the authority, and you need to respect and learn to obey authority." And I said, "Okay." And he says, "Well, even though you're respecting and obeying authority, I want you to know there's a way out, but not at that time. Because if you start fighting them on the spot, you're going to rack up more charges, and you're going to be seen as a troublemaker. And then when it's time to present your case, you won't have a leg to stand on because you have all that behavior from before. So if you do everything they tell you to do, hand over your driver's license, your insurance papers, the registration, and listen to what they have to say, and go about your business, you'll be all right. If they do something wrong in that procedure, you wait, and afterwards you complain like hell, because that's when you do it, afterwards. And I said, "Oh, okay." So every traffic stop I've ever had has gone great. I handed my driver's license, my registration, and insurance paper. Or now it's my husband. They don't let me drive anymore. I have epilepsy. But there was a time, and this is a story I'm going to share with you, that we didn't do that once, and it just prolonged it. I finally came out and told the truth, but it prolonged the stop. I had my girlfriend driving my car, and my car was painted pumpkin orange with black rag roll, and she was driving it around. There's an island where you park cars at the park, and nobody was around. She was driving it around this park island, or whatever you call it, but so she could learn to drive. And she went one direction for a while, then she went the other direction for a while, and a car started to pull into the park. So she parked it, and she jumped into the back, and I slid over to the driver's seat by the time the cops got up there. And so she was climbing into the front seat when they could actually see what was in the car. This caused problems. So they asked us what was going on. And of course, my answer was nothing. And they finally asked me for my driver's license, and I reached down real quick to grab my driver's license, and I hear click, and the passenger door got jerked open, and I hear click, and I go, "I'm not gonna move." He goes, "Yeah, you bet you won't." And he says, "I'm gonna put my flashlight." I said, "Just get my driver's license. I'm gonna put my flashlight on your hand." I said, "I'm reaching for my wallet." And he says, "Okay." And so I got my wallet, and I brought it up, and I got my driver's license out, and I gave it to him, and I put my wallet on the seat, and I waited. And then he said, "Oh, I stated, put her back in the car." And he said, "You don't tell us what to do." And I said, "I'm asking you to put her back in the car for her safety and my safety, please." And he said, "Since you state it like that, I will." And so she got put back in the car, and I told her to lock the doors. Because I didn't know, this was not a marked car, it was an unmarked car. And they had suits on, and although they did show a badge, oh, I can't smoke. I don't know what a badge for an unmarked patrol officer looks like, or an unmarked car from another. So I locked the doors, and he says, what was it he asked for next? Oh, he asked for the insurance and the registration. So we got that, and since I was living with my parents, everything matched, and we put that away. And he goes, "So what were you doing? Were you making a drug exchange, collecting money? What were you doing?" And I said, "I'm going to tell you." I said, "I didn't want her, she was jumping back into the car from driving it because I didn't want her to lose her permit, because that's all she had, and I'm not the old enough age for someone to drive with a permit." And he said, "Is that all?" And I said, "Yep." He started laughing. He says, "I'm going to let you guys go." So